Good morning, everyone. It is with deep reverence and gratitude that I welcome you all today as we gather to dedicate this resting place, the GBI Mausoleum, for those whose lives, though anonymous in death, are honored with the dignity and remembrance they deserve. To begin the ceremony, I'd like to ask our director, Chris Hosey, to come forward to offer remarks.
Thank you and good morning. This has been a long day coming. In conversations that I've had with Senator Rick Williams, who was the main force behind this is a good day to get to this point. And it's taken us a while to get here, but we've made it. And we're proud to be able to do that, to honor those that will lie here. I also want to recognize Dr. Jeffrey Smith, our Chief Medical Examiner, and his staff for the work that has gone into this, along with Ashley Garrish, who is our Director of Medical Operations. Also, Dr. Alice Gooding, that is here today. Thank you for being here with us. Also to Director Chris Wigginton of the Georgia Public Safety Training Center for his partnership in this project, as well as Jacob Harmon, who is Director of our Property Management for GBI. I appreciate the work that you have done to get us here today. As Nellie mentioned, we gather here today in reverence and humility to dedicate this sacred place, a resting ground for those whose names we may never know, but whose lives, dignity, and humanity we honor just the same. This mausoleum stands as a testament to their collective memory, a symbol that no one is truly forgotten, and that every soul, regardless of the circumstances of their death or passage of time, deserves respect, remembrance, and rest. Today we affirm that even when names are unknown, lives are not. We refuse to let anonymity erase their honor. Let this mausoleum be a sanctuary of remembrance. Let it be a place where silence speaks louder than words, reminding us of the cost of conflict, the fragility of peace, and the power of compassion. To the souls who now rest here and in the future, though we know not your names, we carry your memory. Though your stories remain untold, your presence will never be absent. Our mission at the GBI is and will continue to be rooted in bringing justice, answers, and closure for these individuals and the families they represent. May peace be upon each one for you now and forevermore. Thank you. And now call on Senator Rick Williams.
You know, it's very humbling to be here and to be a part of this. I started working with my father in family funeral home when I was 14 years old, so death has been a part of my life all of my life. And William Gladstone wrote some words, and they inscribed, "Show me the manner in which a nation or community cares for its dead, and I will measure with mathematical exactness the tender mercies of its people, the loyalty to high ideals, and respect for laws of the land." And I really believe that. And when this was coming about several years ago, and to see how DNA has come so far in working on legislation that we're doing now, and as that Director Hosey has talked about the Swift DNA technology that's coming, I hope that one day we can reunite loved ones with loved ones. I've read the stories where so many people have lost loved ones. Their family members have disappeared and they have no idea where they're at or if they're even still alive or what has happened to them. And hopefully that some way, sometime in the future, some of this will reunite some families and give some closure, some peace of mind. And, you know, as some of the words that I've heard, even some on a DNA trial that was just taking place just a few months ago, where a lady's daughter and son was taken from her, and because of DNA, the case was settled. And she was 100 years old, but she said, "Thank God he let me live long enough to know and to seek justice for my daughter and my son." And, you know, there's victims here, there's innocent people here, remains, and there's possible others, but there's somebody's child, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's parent, perhaps. But thank you, all of you, for your dedication, your work. And I've known so many agents through the years, and it's always been an honor to be with you and to see your dedication and how much you do. And I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I thank each and every one of you for all that you do and you continue to do. And may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It was through agency legislation that Senator Rick Williams actually sponsored that empowered our chief medical examiner to take the humane and necessary steps to disinter and lay to rest these individuals with honor. So at this time, I'd like to ask our chief medical examiner, Dr. Jeffrey Smith, to come forward.
Morning, everybody. It's hard to follow the eloquence that's come before me, but I would like to thank Director Hosey again for his eloquent words, and also Senator Williams. He used the word humbling in his first sentence, actually, and it was a word I was looking for because whilst I'm relatively new, Johnny-come-lately to this project, having only held my current position for 3 years, I was made aware of what was going on actually before I even was appointed to this position, when I visited my old place of work, which had been changed over the years at the GBI headquarters, and my Assistant Deputy Director, now Director of Medical Operations, Ashley Garish, took me to where the individuals were gathered in our facility, and it's the experience I remember most from that day, because it was humbling and sobering, because as medical examiners we are accustomed to dealing with unidentified individuals, or individuals that have tentative identification. And you know, what occurred to me when I was thinking about this was that we call them unidentified, or the acronym UID, but they all have identities. We just don't know them. They all have loved ones, they all have friends, family, and stories and histories, which we just don't know at the moment. So it was a humbling moment, and I was gratified to hear that there were preparations being made for interment and gathering, because, again, as a forensic pathologist, you have certain cases that you know this is an unidentified individual, and it becomes one of your case record. But over the years, you wonder, well, what happened to that individual? Where are they? And it occurred to me I'd never seen all these individuals, some of them dating back to over 50, 60 years, and their beginnings probably for some of them are a century old now, in one place. So it's great that through hard work, and I'd like to acknowledge also the foresight of my predecessor, Dr. Jonathan Eisenstadt, who, in conjunction with Senator Rick Williams and the legislative body, said, yes, let's go ahead with this project and have a mausoleum and a memorial for these individuals. I'd just like to end up looking forward, that I'm excited. I've been involved peripherally with a couple of cases where identifications have been made after a number of years, thanks to the hard work of the cold case unit and using powerful DNA technology. And it's absolutely fascinating. It's a lot of hard work for a number of individuals, but it's incredibly gratifying for me, just as the Chief Medical Examiner, to be on the tail end of making an identification and reuniting the remains of these individuals with family. And we are in the process, and hopefully we'll be appointing a full-time forensic anthropologist to the agency, and they will be, that individual will be involved with the cold case unit, working and hopefully identifying more of these individuals with the technology and the hard work that we have. So right now, I know that I call her my right hand and left hand individual woman, Director of Medical Operations, Ashley Garra. She is going to get up and say a few words, and I would like to thank her in particular at this moment for being the custodian and guardian of these individuals for the past several years whilst they've been at the GBI headquarters, and I will hand it over to her now. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. In addition to those already acknowledged, I would like to give some gratitude to others who worked on this project, as this reflects the work of numerous years and numerous individuals. As was mentioned, Dr. Jonathan Eisenstadt, our former Chief Medical Examiner, who began the idea of this project, worked with Senator Rick Williams for his expertise with the funeral home business and with mausoleums, as well as working to enact legislation. Dr. Alice Gooding and her forensic anthropology team over the years, who reviewed all of these individuals' cases before they were interred in the mausoleum to make sure we had done everything that was possible at the time to identify. Our Director of Property Management, Jacob Harmon, for pretty much leading the logistics that go into building and maintaining this property. Rodney Bostwick with Georgia Public Safety Training Center, who was our on-site coordinator for the actual construction of the mausoleum. SAC Bill Baudry, who not only helped with the original interment, but also is here every time that I give him a call and say we are very fortunate to be able to reunite one of these individuals with their families, and so I appreciate his help. DIS Supervisor Darcy Evans, who assisted with the initial interment of these individuals. GBI intern Peyton Irby, and prior intern, now death investigation specialist, Olivia Laflamme, for assisting with the preparation of the individuals to be interred in the mausoleum. The GBI cold case unit, as was mentioned, for their help on these cases and working tirelessly to help us solve these cases and get these individuals identified. And a particular thank you to death investigation specialist Christina Thurman, who has basically taken over and helping me with being the guardian of these remains, coordinating the preparation and transport of these individuals, and constant tracking of all of our unidentified individuals at the GBI. Since my career began at the GBI in 2008, I have acted as one of the primary custodians of our unidentified remains collection. As you look at this mausoleum, you may feel, as I first did when I was introduced to these cases and these individuals, overwhelmed. The fact that it was necessary to build such a large repository for them, for those that are yet to be identified, could be discouraging. But the more I worked with these cases, it became clear to me that what I was looking at was hope. The GBI Medical Examiner's Office has never lost faith that we would one day be able to reunite these individuals with their families. This optimism is clear in the original legislation that was passed. It does give the Chief Medical Examiner the authority to easily inter remains into the mausoleum, but additionally gives the Chief Medical Examiner that same easy authority to disinter these individuals for reunification. Since the original interment only months ago, I have already returned here to this site 4 times to disinter 6 different individuals due to either new leads in their cases or identification being made. We have the oldest case interred here date back to 1969, when much of the scientific testing that we now have available did not exist. As technology continues to evolve, it is my hope that we will eventually have the means necessary to identify even the coldest case here. This is not meant to be the final resting place for any of these individuals. It is a secured and dignified resting place for them to await that day when we were able to reunite them with their name and their families. As we dedicate this mausoleum today, I reiterate my dedication and the dedication of the GBI Medical Examiner's Office to work towards that day of reunification for all those interred here. Thank you.